Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. So the next video we are looking at here is the order service, and this one is a big one, so it's gonna span across quite a few videos, so do embrace it. All right, good. The first module, we're gonna start off with the modules, and the first one we'll look at is order module. And then there is another module in this particular service, and that is the payment method module. Right, so for this module we have the annotations. As usual, we have the constructor annotation, excuse my language, no urge constructor. Then we have setters, getters, and entity, and then you need the entity listener auditing listener class. That is that annotation, and this is the table I'm giving it. You don't need to specify the table for the database. You don't need to, it will come out as order as written here, but if you want it in lowercase, then you could go for that. All right, so we are generating the ID for each order when it is created, and then we've got various things like the references, total amount of the order. So there may be more than one particular item in the order, and then there you may be ordering more than from different places, isn't it, from different sellers. So that will be taken care of in due time. At the moment it looks like we are just looking at one particular like ordering for one particular thing, but we will get there as we get there. But the idea is to have a total amount, because we need to pay the whole total order, right? So it doesn't really matter if it's different sellers, we need a total amount. And then we have payment method, which is using an enum type, and then we have the username. So we will sort this out at some point. If I haven't already sorted out, I will rather drag it down from the gateway than provide it within the order, because that means that in the front end I would have to decode and do all sorts of stuff in order to drag it and then take, otherwise you have to do it at the front end, because the UI end, because then it's like you have to do all these JWD coding and all that stuff, right, in order to take out the username of the user who has logged in out of the token, right? So I will sort that out. If I haven't already sorted it out within the controller, I'll sort it out. One-to-many mapping that we've got here to order, one-to-many mapping to order, that is order line to order. So one order will contain a lot of order lines. That's basically what we are saying. Created date, this is why we need this entity listener annotation, and created date, and create a modify at last modified date is also here. And then yeah, so those are the local date, created date, and at last modified date, and it's got the right annotations. So that is all for the order entity. Let's take a look at the method. The method is just an enum type of class, and then we've got PayPal, credit card, debit card, and I've got Bitcoin here for some reason. We don't really need it at this moment, but just for fun. And it's the tutorial I went through that has that. So this is it, right, for the enum. Okay, the next bit we are going to take a look at is, there are a few things that we don't need to worry about, and that is the user, client. As you can see, I've taken it out because I found when I migrated it, or when I finally went through it to use keycloak, I had to make sure that we manage the user from keycloak rather than a user service on its own. So this is redundant, so it will be taken out eventually. Then we come back to the service, and we order line. Now order line should really go under end module, but we got order line here. That order line has the usual annotations. We have all arguments and constructor, or no argument constructor. We got the setters and the getter and entity, and you add the builder as well. All right, so yeah, so this is the order line, and we are generating the ID and managed by JPA, and then we are go many to one, so many order line in one order, and this is the join table we are using it for. That is order ID in the order line, and then we have all the various stuff that we need. I mean, yeah, we are joining that to order, and then we got the product ID in this order and the amount of quantities in this particular order. So that is the order line. This will be concerning the product itself. So how much so if you have different types of products, then that will be an order line, isn't it? So that's how it works. All right, the next thing we will take a look at, I've already explained that the user is no longer needed. User client, any other client I've got that is needed is products service and client service, payment service. So we don't need to worry about the user because we are dragging it again from the gateway. We dragging the user's details from the gateway. So this is redundant because I've got it here, and the user client will be this, so those lot will be deleted. I'll leave it until, of course, I'm ready to delete them. The next one we're gonna look at from this section is the little bits and pieces like this one. So let's take a look at. We are looking at is just these various supports. I'm not going to take a look at keycloak. Well, this one is redundant, so we don't need it because I'm dragging the details from up Sky, because the reason why is because I didn't want to include security and a whole lot of stuff here required adding dependencies of security in there, so we won't talk about that. One thing I think I've forgotten to talk about is the dependency, and I'm saying it. So let's take a look at the dependency. Sorry about this. Let's take a look at the dependency for the service. So let's take a look at the pom.xml file, and we are using Java 23. Excuse my language. We are adding Spring Boot Starter Data JPA. We are adding Spring Boot Starter Validation. We are adding Spring Boot Starter Web, Spring Cloud Starter Config, Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka client. That's for the Eureka client server. Spring Cloud Starter OpenFaint. We don't need the OpenFaint because I have done it in a different way. I'll show you. We're using the Spring Cloud Kafka, and then we've got the Postgres as well. Notice that it says runtime, and then we've got Lambok, and then we have various tests stuff added to it as well. So we got Spring Boot Starter test. This one is added automatically when you add Spring Boot Web, Spring Boot Starter Web. When you add it, you get this one automatically. We are adding the Kafka clients, and we've got actuator as well added here, and it's usually added if you add micrometer tracing bridge brave, and then we need the zipkin reporter brave as well, very important. And then we need spring doc open API starter, web MVC UI. We need spring doc open API starter web MVC API. Then we need keycloak. We don't need keycloak. Yeah, we don't need keycloak as a dependency, and I will block it off when we are done. And we want I mean, these laws are created when you create your Maven manage project. So this one I will block it off at some point and show you why we don't need it. If you are not importing it in any part of here, you will not have any problems, I guess. Right? Or do we need keycloak? You will need keycloak, I believe. Let me just check it, double check it for you. I'm just going to go like this. Of course, we need to start it. So what I've done, I've blocked out keycloak from the dependencies, and I have started the config server, the discovery server, and order service, and there's nothing wrong with any of the three services. So at this point I will end the video here, so we will pick it up on the next video. See you then.